Hi class, I wanted to give you a little bit of heads up on the week. This is your week 1 assignment that we're going to be talking about here. I'll touch base a little bit on the week 1.2 that will be due usually on Monday. But let's just jump in with some basics, all right? So tonight you have due your Explore, which is a content strategy, and that involves a video. You'll be recording your screens and looking at Real Deal Taco's competition to see what others are doing and what their sites are like. And you can learn a lot from that, and you can see what you might do to make things better. So here's the things that you're going to be doing. An overview for this is you'll look how UX impacts content strategy, how you create your workflow, what you're going to present. You'll watch your foundational tutorial on UX foundations and make sure that you're going through your FSO course profile page. If you do that and then use your Full Sail student credentials, you should have no problem unless there's some sort of email conflict, in which case you would need to contact FSO support because I would not be able to help with that. But typically it's just a matter of students not going through their Full Sail profile and entering and accessing LinkedIn Learning there. You'll compare 2 taco truck websites, so you'll just do a search for taco trucks websites. Build a foundation for your fictitious client. That's kind of the thought process that you're going to be using, and you should be able to find that client folder that has everything in it that you need when the time comes. But you're just thinking about that right now. So you're not creating your own fictitious client. You have a client that has come to you and you have everything that you need. What you're going to be doing is applying that to learning how to maneuver in Wix and things like that. So you're not going to be creating your own content. In week 3, however, you will, just for a week. Once you get used to Wix, you'll create about 3 pages, and that'll be strictly about your own professional work. Maybe with one or a couple of examples, 2 at least. 3 is even better, but no more than that. That gets to be kind of busy. So, but for this week, for tonight, you'll create a narrated video comparing these websites that you choose, the 2 that you choose. You'll submit your certificate for that video that you're going to watch on UX. Make sure you're using heading lists, titles, that is, a heading 1. We show you how to do that, but basically you're going to go into your FSO tool when you're submitting to FSO, and you're going to choose format, and it's going to give you options. You probably already are aware of that, and you're going to use a heading size font to separate your submissions for this course. Okay, so one's going to be task 1 and the other will be task 2. So in task 1, you're just going to submit your certificate, and then you're going to be creating that 2 to 3 narrated video comparing those. You're going to use a screen recording. Okay, you can use screenshots if you need to, but you can also use QuickTime that comes with your Mac, and you can record the screen. You're not required to be on screen. You're just going to be going through and kind of maneuvering these sites, these websites, and you know what to look for. You've been on websites your whole life, and you know how to, read whether a site is good or effective for, ordering food and things like that. So you'll know what to talk about. You'll analyze the aesthetics, the structure, how it's functioning, and you're going to reference those kinds of details. And like I said, you're going to know what to look for. This is going to be 75% of this grade. Keep it clear, concise, and narrated, right, for clarity. So your deliverables, again, certificate on UX Foundations. It's a great video. Task 2, competitor video uploaded to YouTube. And then you're going to embed that. And the way you do that is when you open that video in YouTube, there's a share button below that. When you select that, the embed code is going to pop up, and you're going to put that right into your FSO toolbar to submit under your embed. So then you're going to post your hyperlinks to both of the websites that you were comparing, your competitor sites, And that's all you're going to be doing for this week. On this particular assignment, you will this weekend work on your 1.2, which is again going to be a video. All right. And I've laid out for you exactly what slides need to be incorporated into the 1.2. All right. So what are you going to be scored on? It's going to be narrated. It's going to be 2 to 3 minutes. It doesn't need to be 5, but it does need to be at least 2 minutes. That's 20%, the audio, basically, and it's clear, 5%. That it's embedded as 5 points. I may not count off this week, but I will definitely be counting off for the one that's due Monday, okay? I may, give you little tips this week, but after that, after this assignment, you'll lose points if it's not an embedded video. That is, it's viewable on FSL. You'll have screenshots as visual aids, or you will be recording the screen as you go through, which is really the best because then you can see how it functions and you're recording that at the same time. So those are the things you want to talk about under the inclusion. The minutes will be covering aesthetic, structure, functionality. And then any other observations you may have that are very specific to that site, of course. Then you're going to submit the 2 links and your certificate, right? Should be pretty clear, but you can always contact me through the assignment to let me know if you have any other questions, all right? About the late policy, make sure you make requests through the assignment feedback, the specific assignment. If it's made through a message on FSO, it doesn't stay or link or thread with your assignment. When I go to grade, that request isn't there, and I would treat it as if I never received that request. I would have to rely on memory, and as you know, we have sometimes 100 students, and we really rely on all the systems that are in place to help us serve you best. With documentation and a request, you can have up to 72 hours, right? But do expect a 10 points deduction daily, at least. But that stops after 72 hours. Then you're really risking whether or not you get points for that. But make sure you keep up. If you do take advantage of the 72 hours, keep up because these assignments build and you don't want to fall behind. They will all take a little more time than you think. None are difficult, but they will take time. And if we don't allow time, then it will be stressful. I can promise. Okay, but do set that time aside and you can enjoy your assignments. All right. Do not continually ask or use the 72 hours. It's difficult for instructors to go back and pick up those assignments once they're late and try and get you your feedback in time for the next assignment. So we're grading, in a workflow, and so you don't want to do that, and you don't want to fall behind. That's the most important thing. You want to be able to get your feedback and move forward, all right? Okay, if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure that you reach out to me. I want to cover those as soon as possible, all right? And other than that, this is the overall of what you'll be doing this week, all right?